a modified version of the differences of means t-statistic based on a different standard error formula. The pooled standard error formula has an exact student t-distribution when big Y is normally distributed. However, the pooled standard error formula applies only in the special case that the two groups have the same variance or that each group has the same number of observations. Exercise 3.21. Adopt the notation of equation 3.19 so that the two groups are denoted M and W. The pooled variance estimator is S sub pooled squared equals 1 over N sub M plus N sub W minus 2 multiplied by open bracket the sum of I equals 1 to N sub M of big Y sub 1 through big Y sub M bar squared, that's group M, plus the sum of I equals 1 through N sub W of big Y sub I minus big Y sub M, big Y bar sub M squared group W, close bracket, equation 3.23, where the first summation is for the observations in group M and the second summation is for the observations in group W. The pooled standard error of the difference in means is standard error sub pooled open big Y bar sub M minus big Y bar sub W close equals S sub pooled multiplied by the square root of 1 over N sub M plus 1 over N sub W. And the pooled t-statistic is computed using equation 3.20, where the standard error is the pooled standard error sub pooled open big Y bar sub M minus big Y bar sub W. If the population distribution of big Y bar in group M is N, big N of mu sub M and sigma sub M squared, if the population distribution of big Y in group W is big N of mu sub W and sigma sub W squared, and if the two group variances are the same, that is sigma sub M squared equals sigma sub W squared, then under the null hypothesis, the t-statistic computed using the pooled standard error has a student t-distribution with N sub M plus N sub W minus 2 degrees of freedom. The drawback of using the pooled variance estimator, S sub pooled squared, is that it applies only if the two population variances are the same, assuming N sub M not equal to N sub W. Again, assuming N sub M not equal to N sub W. If the population variances are different, the pooled variance estimator is biased and inconsistent. If the population variances are different but the pooled variance formula is used, the null distribution of the pooled t-statistic is not a student t-distribution, even if the data are normally distributed. In fact, it does not even have a standard normal distribution in large samples.